this is me being selfish in this interview. So, go into some detail, not as much detail as you probably can, but give me an idea of what 1 week looks like in the regular season as a major league strength coach. Talk to me about trying to pick and choose the exercise selection you're going to use when you're on the road, when you may not have the facilities that need. Give us some insight to what you've seen and what you've encountered.
Well, there is no typical, right? And my first day on the job, I had a manager, Bill Verdon, and Bill was a Marine. He was hard-nosed, and he told me the very first day, he said, I'm going to give you one word, and if you can take this word and you can apply it, you might have a long career here. If you cannot apply it, you might not make the day. And that word was adjust. He said, you have to be able to adjust. You have to be able to adjust to day games after night games. You have to adjust to what kind of facilities you have, and what kind of facilities you want. The weather may come into play. We may have the game may go into extra innings, and that will affect you. The player that you want to work with may be injured, or maybe have a bad attitude that particular day, or have problems at home. So there is no typical day. You start off as typical, and then you adjust. You make the best plan that you can, and then you adjust. If you are at home, you've got starting players, you've got extra men, you've got pitchers, and those are broken down into starting pitchers and relief pitchers. You've got 25 guys, you've got one facility, you've got you, and you got to figure out, how am I going to get the best workout in, for each of these 25 players, plus the 2 or 3 guys that are on the disabled list.
Wow.
And then to that you have to add the fact that there's one guy that can't do anything by himself. So you pretty much have to hold his hand, and while you're holding his hand, 8 or 10 guys are standing around in a circle. So you have to budget your time. You have to have a tremendous amount of time management, and you have to have the players buy into it, so that some of them are willing to work early, and some of them are willing to work late. And then when you get on the road, you've got that problem. You've got some places have visiting weight rooms, and sometimes the visiting weight room is not much bigger than a phone booth.
I've heard that about Wrigley.
Well, Wrigley has just remodeled, and I'm looking forward to seeing it, so that they will now have a visiting weight room. But for decades, the weight room in Wrigley was a set of unmatched dumbbells in size and a stability ball that were in a corner of the training room between the shelf that contained the tape and the aspirin and the trainer's lockers.
Wow.
And so it was extremely small. And then they had one stationary bicycle, which was in the corner of the weight room between the training room and the food prep area.
Wow.
And then if you wanted to go work out, and use their weight room, you had to walk across the field. And so that means if you're going before the game, you have to go walk directly across home plate. And then after the game, with the fans there, leaving, you have to walk across the field. And that's bad.
Wow.
But the Red Sox were worse, because you had to walk through the fans. You had to walk under the concourse area and through the fans to get to their weight room in their clubhouse. And so if you're going to work in their clubhouse, and let's say you just had a skirmish on the field, that's a tough situation.
Right, may not be working out that day.
Yeah, you might not want to go that day. Or if you've gotten beat 8-0, you're not really excited about going over there. And if you've won 8-0 and you go over there, they may not be excited to see you.
might be getting beers dumped on your head.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I would like to give you a typical day. I can tell you that most strength coaches are there by noon, and they leave an hour to an hour and a half after the game. And most of the games are over at 10:30 or 11, so it's an easy 12-hour day.